Good morning. So another day here at the workshop stage. A day loaded with workshops. I think at the end we have about 15. And we start off this morning with a very interesting one. Spin-offs, that's the topic. A joint venture between the University of Valencia and its science park. So there's 6 people here in lineup. I'm not going to go from there to there, but I got my own list here. Carmen Rodilla, Vicente Clemente, Luis Caballero, Frederic Grau, Lucas Martinez, and the moderator, Christine Suleng. So this panel is going to be about 3 things. The first thing is the challenges of setting up a spin-off. The second thing is how to embrace the transfer of knowledge in the spin-off. And then the last thing is how the University of Valencia is actually doing the support of the journey from pure academic to actually making it a mature business. So I would say, take it away. Looking forward to...
Thank you, John, for the nice introduction. Bon dia, buenos dias, good morning. Welcome to the workshop session entitled Spin-offs, a joint venture between University of Valencia and its science park. And my name is Christine Suleng. I'm head of communication at the University of Valencia Science Park. Sorry, it's a bit long. And it's a great pleasure exploring the opportunities, the challenges as observed Tom in his introduction, challenges, opportunities, advantages of the relation between the university and its science park in creation of spin-offs. And we are fortunate to have with us an esteemed panel of speakers, of 5 experts, whom I'd like to introduce. At first, Luis Caballero, CEO and co-founder of affirms. This is a biomedical image spin-off of the University of Valencia and CSIC too. And next, we introduce you Mercedes Diez, Technical Development Director at the Made in Plant and Agrotechnology spin-off at Agrotech UV. Carmen Rodilla, Associate Professor of Commercial Law at the University of Valencia. Vicente Clemente, Head of Operations of the University of Valencia Science Park Foundation. And at last, Lucas Martinez Clar, CEO of DCN. Thank you all for your participation, for taking part at the VDS 2024. And I start with Carmen Rodilla. The first question, essential question, Carmen. What strategies does University of Valencia implement to ensure that spin-offs have access to the academic and financial resources necessary for their success? Which are the mechanisms for the spin-offs at the University of Valencia?
So first of all, I want to thank... Sure.
Yes.
First of all, I want to thank the University of Valencia and this event for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to present what is the approach of the University of Valencia in the help of our employees and workers in making them be able to transfer their knowledge to society, which is one of the central roles of the University of Valencia as a public institution. So the first thing that we do is we talk with our partners. So the funders have an idea, a very important idea, which they think they can economically or commercially exploit. And the first thing is their role. They have to identify which is important and if this has a commercial opportunity. When they identify that their idea is an important one, what they do is they come directly to the university. We have a very important institution, which is the Technology and Innovation Transfer Office, which is one of the essential or key elements of the University of Valencia. In this institution, what we do is we consult them, we give them advice, we explain them what are the implications for them if they want to transfer, if they want to exploit this invention. So University of Valencia, what the university normally does is we claim ownership of this invention. We are rightfully entitled to claim ownership of this invention, but we want it to be transferred to society. So we advise them to incorporate a company, a limited liability company, so that their patrimony, their assets, and the university's assets are protected. Once we do this, what we do is we participate as a partner. The university itself participates as a partner jointly with the founder in the company. And then we start exploring opportunities in the market. And we do a licensing agreement with them, and we start operating in the market. But with this protection, this legal protection, so that our assets are always protected.
Thank you for your remarks, Carmen. Vicente, the next question is, what are the biggest challenges faced by a university and its science park in fostering the creation of spin-offs, of enterprises based on knowledge, based on the University of Valencia?
Thank you very much for everybody for being here. From my point of view, there are several challenges. Maybe one, the most important, will be to have a normative framework to facilitate this step to the researchers to go further and do it. Also, the visibility. The visibility is also to enhance the position of the people who go to this area. And then another thing is the facilities. For example, the science park. The science park, at the end, it's an environment to help these new projects to go further, to get more investment, to start to developing the new products and services, and also the reputation of the people who try to do this. I think it will be more or less the challenges.
Very insightful, Vicente. Thank you very much. And now I would put a question for Lucas, Mercedes, and Luis. What is the primary challenge when attempting to commercialize academic or research? Which are the main challenge in your case, Luis? For example, in the case of affirms, the creation of affirms?
So, first of all, I would like to thank you for the invitation to participate in this workshop. So, for the researcher, it is a challenge to exit from this comfort zone, okay, that he's always been in the research. So in our case, okay, in our experience, mentoring and pushing and feeling that you are accompanied by the institutions, it was quite crucial. Okay, because at the very beginning, this is the landscape is a desert, okay, and everything it will frighten you, okay. So feeling that you are very very well accompanied by the institutions that okay, these are the steps, you will be protected. These are the tools that you will have. Was in our experience was the very first thing that okay gave us the starting point to try to.
Mercedes, is the same experience in the case of Made in Plant?
Yes, of course. The technology transfer office is crucial in this gap shifting from the lab to the market. Its help is invaluable, but there are many things that have to be considered at this stage, and they were also a challenge for us. No? But all spin-offs have a great idea and a great technology, but then there's more. No? You have to have the market readiness. Is the idea, is the technology ready for the market? Is it scalable? Is it cost effective? There's market research that, okay, the idea is there, but what's the demand for this product? What's the customer going to look like? What's the competition? No? An idea is not enough, so there's a lot of work that has to be done additionally. And I don't know, from the perspective of a scientist, we often have a solution and then we go looking for a problem to solve. And when you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And I think we need to move from this hammer looking for nails and start analyzing what does the market need or what do the consumers want, and then try to look for these solutions. And there's another crucial thing that for me is challenging when coming from academia to commercialization, and that is the shift from publication to protection, to intellectual property protection. Because when you're a scientist, you're looking to publish, to generate knowledge and share it. But this is then a disadvantage once you want to protect it, and you have to focus on confidentiality and trade secrets, and this can be in direct competition, and it's something that you need to decide early on and then fight for it.
A very nice intervention, Mercedes. Thank you. Thank you so much. Lucas, we want to learn more about the investor approach in this, focusing the challenges in the university in order to commercialize academic research.
Okay, good morning. Thank you for the invitation to University of Valencia in this fantastic place and full of energy of the entrepreneurs, which I think this is the most important thing that is happening today. Well, for sure, there is a research agenda, so the researchers are trying to investigate on key areas, and I think it's a deep issue. What is the time span in which they want to impact the society? Because you could be Albert Einstein, and you could be transforming the basics of physics, and probably it's 100 so time span in impact. But there's such of a disconnection between what the market is needing now and most of the research that is being done, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I think we have to be conscious about that, because then if you try to push startups or spin-offs with technologies that are very early in the needs of society, it's going to be very much more difficult to get financial results for a company. So to have open eyes on which technologies are more needed now, not the ones that are coming at the end of the funnel of the patent process, which are whatever they are. But to have a more market view on what's going on in the research areas, maybe there are some interesting things that are happening that are more needed now in the market that will speed up the process. Because in the end, when we come to the investor side, everything is based on value of use. If you have a new technology that is needed by somebody is going to pay you for that technology. So this is the key issue. Who is able to convince a company to buy your product, to buy your service, to buy your process now and pay money? Because bad thing for the investors, the best money for the startup is the money from the clients, not the money from the investors. So you end up with investors because you don't have clients. But if you could have clients, you should never open your equity structure to anyone outside. So for the investors, for your second question related to the one, the mentality of a financial investor is still far away from the early stages of startups, because everything is very risky. Technology is immature, there are no clients, there is not a clear process, so you don't really know where you're investing. So normally, from a rational point of view, you don't invest. Probably it's a different view, the corporate vision, which might have a longer term vision, and maybe a corporate investor might see the importance of a certain technology in the sector. So maybe they are willing to wait longer years to see the results because they know that they are playing the game of the sector.
Thank you, Lucas, for your intervention. Another crucial issue, perhaps researchers and entrepreneurs are a bit afraid of, Carmen, I turn back with you, is intellectual property. Now the question is, how crucial is intellectual property protection in the relation of the creation of university spin-offs?
So, intellectual property is essential. To protect an invention is essential in order to be able to exploit it. So there are many ways in which we can protect inventions. It's not just intellectual property. We can also have trade secrets which can be protected through non-disclosures agreements, for example. But if we're dealing with something big, what we usually do is we advise people to register it in order to be protected and in order to be commercialized. And there are, as I told you, I think 2 or 3 intellectual property rights or assets that we mainly use. One is patents, but it's not the only one. But it's a complex procedure to register. And therefore, I want to, again, advise every researcher that thinks that they come up with a nice idea, with an interesting idea, to right away go to the office, to the Innovation and Technology Transfer Office, because over there, they can advise you what are the best tools to protect your idea. Of course, it's your idea, and you are entitled to the moral rights. But as an employee of the University of Valencia, again, I have to tell you, I have to remind you that we are going to claim ownership.
Thank you very much, Carmen. Very interesting approach to Vicente, focusing in a science park as the University of Valencia Science Park. How can universities and science parks collaborate or facilitate the collaboration with the private sector to maximize the impact of innovations stemming from the scientific spin-offs?
Okay. Many times, science parks are seen as facilities, buildings, labs, desks. But from my point of view, we are much more than that. We are a coffee machine. So coffee machine, it's a meeting point. We, more than a place, we are an environment. An environment where researchers, investors, the university, other companies meet together. So you can find other facilities in other places, but you don't have this meeting point, this coffee machine in anywhere. For example,
very nice point.
In our, I always say the same. In our case, I think the most add value of the science park for the university and for the spin-offs and for the other companies is to have the possibility of to meet a guy who has get an investment for 2 million euros, and it's your neighbor. So you have access to them. You say, and that's good because of the experience of the rest of the tenants, but also because I think it's inspiring. I think inspiration is quite important. When you start a new project, you have to face a lot of difficulties, and to have some references are inspiring, and it helps. We can talk about the research equipment, the university, the support, that it's very important, the fundings, that's always important. But this point is like the salt that you give, this is the difference. I think it's the key value that we can offer, or we should offer to the spin-offs.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much, Vicente. Very, very nice point in your intervention. And Luis Caballero, in the case of from your experience, Luis, how can the interests of researchers and entrepreneurs be balanced, effectively balanced in the creation of a spin-off?
Well, that's a very nice question, and I think it's the key point for the research. So I will put on the desk two profiles of researchers. Okay, those seniors, okay, and the younger ones. So for the seniors ones, the problem is that they are very comfortable, okay, with their research. They probably are used to this to apply for grants. Their projects are based on those grants, and if they fail, nothing happens. Okay, that's not your money. So, doing that step to the business, and since you are risking your money and others from the investors, that's I think the barrier that they feel. That's the main barrier that they will face. For the youngers, okay, they are more motivated. They have less to lose in that journey. But somehow, from the academic side, it is it's penalized. Okay, if you go from the academic, if you leave the academic, you go to the business. Then, if you come back to the academic, that will make you. The feeling is that they will judge you as if you have forgot all your science. I felt that, okay, and unfortunately, I could come back and all this stuff. But I think that's the barrier, because for the youngers, they need to publish articles, and that's the metric. If you go to the spin-off or to the business, then you have this IP protection. You could not publish anymore, okay, during many years. And if you publish a patent. A patent will cost you, not apart from the money, it will cost you the time of publishing 5 articles, let's say. But if you, okay, after that, if you came back, the academic would not recognize that. There is no metric for this, and this should change in order to push the people to.
Very interesting response, Luis. And Mercedes, from your experience also, what special advice would give you to researchers or academics looking to embark on launching their own spin-off? Which is special advice?
Well, there would be many advices from many more experienced people, I can imagine. But for me, I think the key point is to validate the idea, right? You have to know what's the customer and really is there a demand for it? And so market research is essential at a very early stage, but also get feedback. Talk to potential clients, talk to people that are doing similar things, talk to potential investors, potential customers. You have to know if what you want to do is really useful and can be done for a price that people are willing to pay. So this validation is very crucial. And I think something that I try to keep in mind myself is to be flexible and to be willing to adapt your plans once you're learning and you're growing, because this will happen. But at the same time, you have to stay passionate and very committed to your idea. So you have to balance these two things of being able to change, but at the same time staying really committed.
Thank you, Mercedes. And now, Lucas, the crucial question. How are research projects with the highest potential to become spin-offs identified within the university? How can I identify research in order to becoming a spin-offs?
Let me a challenging reflection about the mission of the university. Okay. If the university is a transfer organization in general, because when you graduate people, you are transferring knowledge through people, right? Or let's say you are developing the potential of people with new knowledge in order to transfer. But the origin probably is research. So if you go deep into research, you can transfer more knowledge to the graduates or to spin-offs. But that is related to what Luis and was saying of the motivation. How are you pricing the value of your researchers? If you have to dedicate hours to teach, obviously, because it was the traditional mission of the university, but that teaching comes from knowledge, and knowledge comes from research. And for me, the implication is the compromise of university in developing the society, feeding the traditional sectors, and more importantly, developing the new sectors that are coming, that are the future needs of society. Who has this knowledge in order to decide if now we are in the artificial intelligence stage and we need to develop a sector around artificial intelligence, or is photonics, or is health, nutrition and food, and because that understanding of the future of society will prioritize in different ways the way the university is being organized and the way you are giving prizes to because we have the most difficult thing, which is that we have thousands of researchers that are working every day. That I tend to be very positive on this because this is the value that we have now. We need to improve many things in order to be more effective on creating solutions for the problems of society that are coming through spin-offs, because we still keep the idea of a spin-off as a sort of an entertainment. I consider today is a little bit of an entertainment business, this VDS, right? It's entertaining. No, but the spin-offs are bringing in solutions to social problems. And this is the future of society. So the university has an interesting role of renewing the role for the future of society. So, and the way you choose the right ones, you need to bring in probably the market view and connect it to the researchers. So structures of research, probably having these boards of people from the market that are feeding up understanding of what the big problems. I consider that technology is a fashion, and sorry to say, and there are fashions. Now we're in the artificial intelligence fashion, and it will burn out as well as any other fashion. And probably the Illuminatis, the researchers, and the top managers in the big corporations are the ones that are keeping an intelligent conversation on defining what are the fashions. So we are part of the fashion definition, but only half of the part. The other part is from outside. So we need to bring the outside to define fashion. Okay?
Very insightful, Lucas. There are just 3 minutes left to arrive to the end of our workshop. And please, I would like to ask you, each one of you, to share a conclusion of this relation between university, science park, and science park in order to create academic spin-offs. Carmen?
So, yes, basically I want to remind everybody that the university plays, well, any public organization, but specifically the university plays a central role in the creation and transfer, not just of technology, but also of science and more broadly of knowledge to the society. And we have many tools to do that. One of the upsides is that as a public university, we have the means to invest in very risky research. And we do that with the idea of making society better. It's just one of the tools that we have in the incorporation of spin-offs. And we are investing in doing that because we think that it's one very useful way, but it's not the only one. We are going to work in the following years in that trend. We are going to make better structures, and we are here to help everybody from the part of the university to help them to transfer what they know to society, because they are the researchers, they are the specialists, and we want to help them with every structure and means that we have.
Vicente?
Just one word: believe.
Believing.
Believe that it's possible. Anything else? Okay.
Thank you. Luis?
Okay. Just for the researchers, okay, try it. Don't arrive to your retirement and ask yourself, oh, what if I did try that I left on a box, okay? That you cannot arrive with that doubt, okay? So try it. It's worth.
Mercedes?
Yeah, I can only subscribe to what the others have said. Also, this idea of trying what you believe in. You're in a unique position as a researcher. You're an expert in your topic, and you are the most indicated person to bring this solution. But then find the best way to do it and talk to other people of how to bring it really into realization, I would say.
At the end.
one final reflection. If in Finland the best teachers are teaching the youngest kids at school, we need the best executives to launch spin-offs. And from the research side, the other side, we need the best researchers doing the most impacting research for society.
Thank you, all participants, for your valuable inputs, and a big thank to the audience sharing time with us, staying with us through our workshop in the relation of a joint venture between the University of Valencia and its Science Park and the creation of spin-offs. And please give a warm round of applause for our speakers. Thank you so much.